Christina. Good morning. How are you? You're up early. I guess it's 8 where you're at. I was supposed to get up earlier than I did today, and I did not. Always up early. I wish. I mean, I could. I get up fairly early. Talk to me about espresso machines. Oh boy. Are you? We'll talk coffee while I'm eating my za. Leftover za, because I'm out of breakfast stuff. Let's see. So I don't know, like a lot. Like 20 bar, I know is just like how much pressure, but I don't know like the ideal. Like, what are you wanting out of it? Like, I don't know what to look for. I bought a pretty nice one from Best Buy. I bought the Breville. So this is the one. Oh, this is probably gonna be expensive. This is like $800 fucking espresso machine. I think it's this one. No, mine has a screen. Dude, why don't I know which one I have? I think I have this one. Yeah, this one looks right. What's a good easy one for beginners? Well, I want to find like a coffee website that talks about it. Coffeeness. I know DeLonghi. I mean, I think that's how you say it. I know that's a really known brand, but they're going to be expensive too. All right. Best performing, best overall. Let's look at how much the best overall is. Holy fuck. Okay. Don't do that one. Dude, these are all gonna be expensive. Best budget. How about that? 172? Comes with your steamer. Yeah, so that's your steam knob. This one looks pretty cool. Temperature control. Does it have a grinder in it? Do you want one with a grinder? Do you have a grinder? if you don't have a grinder, I'd say get one with a grinder. But because this one definitely doesn't have a grinder. You need a grinder? Well, all right. Do you want only espresso? Or are you looking at having, like, you want to start doing pour over coffee, French press? Because you can have a grinder that can grind all sorts of ways. Because different grind types work better with different coffees. So, like, a real coarse grind, French press, like a medium grind, gonna be your pour over. Yeah, medium. So if you want like a good grinder too, you need one that's gonna do espresso grinding too. Because your grind size for espresso is the most important. That shit has to be fine. Kind of like a powder. So this is like, the Ode is the grinder that I see everyone use. 195 bucks. This will do everything. But then you got like the Breville grinders. You want a burr. Don't get a fuck, what's the other one? Don't get, it should say burr. Don't get the other one that says not burr. Can't remember what the fuck it's called. Tina Lee, good morning. We're looking up grinders for Christina. See, I had the cuisine art. This one, I had this one for a while and it did just fine. I didn't do it for espresso though. I don't know how fine it would get your beans, but it's 60 bucks. $60. But you see how like expensive good grinders are. So getting a grinder, that shit is loud though. Yeah. Dude, the Silencio that I have now, that Tina got me, I think that was for my birthday, wasn't it? Incredible. Can't even hear it. I think it was. Thank you. Oh, you can get it in white? Dude, white looks clean. I love that thing. It's so aesthetically pleasing too. Yeah, it's so beautiful. Oh shit, I don't have any of my chats up. Hold on. I know I'm multi-streaming. I don't have any of that shit up. Such a bad streamer. Bad streamer. All right. Blade grinder. Don't get a blade grinder. I know I know Tina's had blade grinders, and she said she likes them. I'm just saying what the internet says. I've never had a blade grinder. They may be fine, but the internet says to use burr. I don't know why. But kind of up to you and what you like, Christina. You know? Jeff was texting? No, you're good. Yep, XQC going to kick. We're gonna watch this video while I eat my za. Look at all the deets.
Deal in entertainment history has just been signed by a Twitch streamer. Felix Lengyel, also known as XQC, is moving off of popular live streaming platform Twitch.
It's really nice,
onto
Tina.
rival platform Kick. Now, this is a estimated $100 million deal, representing the largest deal ever signed in live streaming history. This is the only video where you will get the actual details of this deal and how this changes the live streaming space and the entertainment world forever. You do not want to miss a second of this. People will miss a lot of details in their coverage of this event that would only be caught by an insider. So we are going to break everything down, starting with what this deal actually is. Because on the outside,
if you don't know who Devin Nash is, and you want to stay up to date with like real Twitch news and shit, not like drama, but like numbers, analytics, stuff like that. Dude, Devin Nash, best in the business.
It looks like a streaming deal that just pays XQC to go to another platform, but that's not what it actually is. What this actually is the most interesting and the biggest influencer marketing play of all time. So Kick, as a platform, has, by doing one deal, has put themselves on the map in influencer marketing. Consider that $100 million. We're going to talk about this in a second. Maybe that deal isn't actually $100 million. It doesn't actually seem like what it might be. We're going to break that down in a second, so stay tuned for that. But look at this, okay? New York Times, Forbes, Deserto, and this is just PC Gamer. This is
so he owns like a media business, and he does like financial shit for people. So he has a lot of insider info.
This is just the first couple of hours of this as of the time of this recording. This is going to be everywhere. Every single big outlet is going to cover this, and that is exactly what Kick is planning on to put them on the map. So if you understand one thing about what this deal is, this is Kick's Hail Mary to get on the map and be a legitimate competitor to Twitch. Now, the New York Times is reporting that this deal is an estimated $70 million. And if you look at the article, they say signing a 2-year contract, roughly $70 million contract with incentives that could push it to the total to about $100 million, said his agent Ryan Morrison from Evolve Talent. So what does that mean? Let's break down the actual deal structure and tell you.
Dude, he's getting paid. He's getting paid so much fucking money. That is ridiculous.
What this deal actually looks like. From me myself, I am also an agent. I formerly ran a talent agency. I now run a brand agency, and I'm going to guess what the deal structure is, but I'm gonna almost guarantee that I know exactly how these agencies do this work. I've done dozens of deals across the space, probably hundreds of deals that are structured this way. So we're gonna break down what this deal most likely is gonna make perfect sense. So first of all, let's get the stuff that we know, and then I'll do the math, okay? So we know that it's roughly $70 million over 2 years, and then there's $30 million, so we'll plus $30 million in incentives, and we're gonna discuss what those are in a little bit. So up to 100, okay? And I think those 100 are probably going to be, so extra 30 mil for.
It's definitely a Hail Mary. But I don't know. I think Asmund still said it the best. He's like, when you don't have to pay people to swap your website, but the other side of that is like, if he has like a massive deal with Twitch, and Kick's just sitting there silent, he would never go to Kick. You know? Why would he? So, like, I guess Kick kind of has to reach out and beat his contract now.
Or events, because XQC mentioned that, and possibly, since there is an association with Stake being the owners of Kick, gambling incentives or hours gambling.
This part worries me with XQC because he had a gambling problem. I think like him, Trainwrecks, they all have gambling problems. It's really bad.
Now, the big thing to understand about this deal is that this deal is most likely an hourly deal. That is to say that there is probably not what we would call an MG or minimum guarantee associated with the deal. There is probably a signing bonus, and I would put that at like 10 million, maybe 15 at most. So like, here's a check, and then we're going to pay you hourly to be here. Okay, so there's an upfront, but probably not a minimum guarantee. It's probably going to be hourly. We know that because there's been a ton, basically every deal that...
That's what YouTube did with people like Ludwig. He explained it, that he reached out to Twitch to see if they would beat out the deal, and they were just like, best of luck. I mean, yeah. I think now is the time that Twitch is on the way out. Because they were sitting okay with like Mixer and stuff, and it was after COVID, and there's like huge numbers, or like during COVID, I guess. And they were sitting okay, and Mixer just kept just buying people, and not a whole lot of people were switching over on their own. Kick is making like, I see more people swapping over to Twitch or to Kick from Twitch than like ever. Like it's actually crazy. People I don't know, people that are big, people that are small. It's nuts.
That Kick has signed so far has been an hourly deal. We've seen dozens and dozens of these deals show up on Twitter, and indeed they're offering a flat hourly rate to almost anybody that verifies for their partner program that's above like 30 to 50 concurrent viewers. So if this is an hourly deal, and I can almost guarantee it is, we can basically just figure out exactly how this deal got structured. So I'm going to put the rate per hour at $10,000. You're going to see why in a minute.
What?
Like agencies, they love to choose these like big round numbers, and so they're just going to end up on something like this. Now, Felix streamed 3,029 hours last year on Twitch. Okay, so then you just take the hourly rate, 10,000 times 3,029, and you get a pretty easy number, 30,290,000. You times that by 2, right? Well, actually, we're not done yet because but it's gonna be, this is 1 year, okay, and it's a 2-year deal. We know that. So then you look at the subs that he gets, okay, and we're going to assume that he's making 100% of his sub revenue in the Kick contract. That's fairly common for these larger creators, and it's already 95.5 anyway, so it's like not too much sweat for Kick just to say, here, you get 100% of your sub revenue. With SQC's current numbers on Twitch, that puts him monthly at 327,044 or 3,929,805 per year. Okay.
Oh my
so
God,
then
dude!
You just add up the, which basically puts you to 34,219,805, and so if you just add that times 2, right, and you figure, okay, it's going to be about 34,219,000 per year. Multiply that by 2, you get 68,439,610. Boom, that's the deal. That's how they got to 70 million. So 70 million, and then the 30 million in incentives is the part we don't really know. And that is, I would just be guessing. I think that some of that is going to be just kind of like events, like XQC mentioned he wants to do like viewer Shark Tank stuff, or like he can pitch that kind of stuff, so there's some payment there. But if I were to guess, I would say that some of those incentives are going to kind of like be attached to like gambling goals or things like that. That, again, we'll see like what happens there. XQC might just like gamble on his own. It's really a question of where that 30 mil actually sits that we just aren't going to know and anybody can speculate on. But what this means is that this is,
Dude.
I just want you to understand what a brilliant marketing play this is from Kick, because Kick is getting all of this earned media. So what is earned media? In the marketing world, earned media means impressions you don't necessarily pay for, So people like me that are making videos about this, undoubtedly there is going to be videos from every content creator about this. It's going to be talked about across Twitch. It's going to be talked about across every platform. It's going to be I mean, people like LeBron, right, are going to talk about this. Like, how is this kid getting more than my signing was for an NBA team? Like, that's going to be the kind of news, and we're going to get into in a second into how that might be a real problem for Kick. But that's going to be the discussion, right? So the earned media from this is massive. It's second to none. There's no deal in history digitally that comes even close to how much this deal is going to be talked about. We're going to see this on every business podcast. We're going to see this on every publication that's possible. There's going to be talk about this ongoing for a very long time. And so what Kick has done by setting up an hourly deal is they're basically saying, yeah, sure, we'll pay you the rate of like $10,000 per hour. And I'm pretty confident that's the number. It's really close to it because the math just works out almost exactly. And that's basically been confirmed by their agency. So if you look at that number, XQC might honor that, and he might actually stream 3,000 hours. But Kick knows that he has to split his time because this is a non-exclusive deal. He's going to be streaming on Twitch at least some of that time, as well as on Kick. And over the course of 2 years, especially if you're younger, at some point the money just like doesn't become an incentive. Like, the difference in your quality of life.
This is nuts.
Between like $50 million to like $70 million to like $100 million, especially for someone that's like 25. Maybe he decides that his community on Twitch is better, or maybe he decides to like stream a little bit less. Like, Kick is probably not going to end up paying out this like entire $70 million. And that $30 million in incentives, that could sit anywhere. It could be very difficult to get. It could be locked behind events, or it might be just money that gets like filtered back into gambling, where they just like refill his pot or whatever. We don't know. But that $70 million is unlikely to actually equate out to the actual 70. And now let's say that it does. Kick probably still earned $70 million just in earned media impressions. It's not even about, like, you have to ask yourself, okay, if they're giving 100% of the revenue back to XQC and they're paying him this much, how the heck does this make sense for Kick? Well, it's because Kick just overnight became a competitor to Twitch.
Yeah, everybody.
Like,
everybody's talking about them.
Themselves on the board, and we're going to discuss why that's going to be a problem in the next section, because this section is now how this changes Kick.com. So if you were in,
I don't think that Kick is like aside from you making more money, I don't think the website is any better. I don't think their website is any better. If anything, it's probably a little worse. So it's like you can put up with a worse website and make more money. So I don't know.
In the entertainment world, or you were in that space, you know, some people on Twitch have heard about Kick. And maybe if you're watching this video, this could be your first exposure to it, or maybe you're a frequent goer of this channel, you follow marketing stuff, so we're on new platforms, we're aware of this stuff. Kick is a tiny drop in the bucket compared to Twitch. Yeah. And just to like put that into perspective, so Twitch has about 724,910 live streams per day, okay? And way more average viewers versus Kick having about 110,000 live streams per day.
Yeah, but how many did Mixer have?
0 viewers or to 10 viewers.
Yeah, that's us, baby. Let's
now,
go.
With the time that Twitch has been around, which is almost a decade, and Kick basically being younger than a year, it's actually incredible that the total live streams equates to about 1/7 of Twitch. That's unbelievable, and the platforms like Mixer, which was Microsoft's effort to compete with Twitch, and even YouTube Live may not compete with these numbers. So I'm not saying that like Kick isn't like really doing impressive, but they aren't anywhere close to Twitch's market share. This move will change that, and there will be a bunch of stuff happening at Kick, and the first thing that's going to happen is heat. And I mean, it's going to turn up the fire. Everybody is going to go after Kick. Every federal agency, every single group, everybody. So Twitch, in its infancy, survived by watching movies, doing whatever you want, because no one really knew about it. And so for a long time on Twitch, you could stream Lord of the Rings. You could stream whatever the hell you wanted. I mean, I remember a director at Twitch at the time lit a chair on fire and peed it out on live stream. Like, you could get away with some crazy stuff back when I started streaming in like 2011, just on Justin TV. You could do basically anything. And what happened over time was more attention got on Twitch. Articles got covered, like in the New York Times, about Twitch. There was a couple of scares. The music industry turned their heads. People in the entertainment industry turned their heads. And they were like, hey, like, we got to start regulating this platform. Guess what's about to happen to Kick? Right away. They just accelerated themselves into oblivion. Every single... like, right now, like on Kick, like, as you watch this video, there are full movies being streamed. There's like borderline pornography. There's like crazy platforming of issues that I can't even talk about without getting demonetized on YouTube. There is some insane stuff going on Kick. And I can't even stress enough how much of a problem it is. It's such a problem that our brand agency, Nova, which is our agency that works with brands to put influencer marketing dollars into great projects, we can't spend on Kick because there's just too much of a brand risk. And I'm not...
That's the issue that you have with Kick, and a lot of people is they don't want to touch the website. They can't. Like, it would look so bad, you know? And that's why, like, my biggest fear with Kick, I mean, it doesn't scare me, because we're at the point, like, all right, so there was a tweet yesterday, I think it was from Lucci, and it was like, people are looking at Twitch as... Hold on, let me get my phone. Ugh. Because Lucci actually liked my reply to it, you know, weird flex. Let me find it. I could just pull it up on the computer, but that's crazy. So he said a small bit of advice to content creators regarding the recent Kick hype. Way too many of you are wrapped up in how long any platform will last. You refuse to take any action unless you can be 100% sure there is zero risk and the platform's going to be around for 10 years. You watch opportunity after opportunity come and go and never do anything, then wonder why you're stuck. Kick might not be here in 2 years, so fucking diversify. The reality of any of these platforms could be gone 3 years from now. Take advantage of things while they're here and never put all your eggs in one basket. Stop treating content creation and streaming like securing a stable 9 to 5 and start thinking like an entrepreneur. And so my reply... because I've been reading, like, entrepreneur shit about, like, my coffee and everything else like that. So I said, I've been watching a lot of entrepreneur stuff, and the big takeaway for me is take risks now when you have nothing to lose. So essentially, like, if you have 3 viewers on Twitch, why the fuck wouldn't you multi-stream to Kick? What's going to happen? You go down? You can't go down, okay? You can't go down. Just stream to Kick, okay? It can't get any worse. You have nobody talking. You have no subs. Nobody knows you exist. So fucking just do whatever you want. Like, you can't lose. You literally can't lose. Now, if you're someone like, let's say Doc, right, is like, oh, we're going to go stream on Kick now. That could possibly ruin him. He could take a massive hit because it could be really bad for him. So there's different, you know, there's different parameters when making these decisions for someone who's like making millions of dollars versus somebody who's making nothing, you know? A bad advertisement for Tesla could mean the end of Tesla, you know? If I put out a bad ad for my stream on Twitter where nobody sees my shit, it probably wouldn't do anything to me, you know? So...
I'm not even saying, like, brand risk in the way that you might think about it. I mean, like... Nobody, even our most risk-tolerant brands, will spend a single dollar on Kick because of the crazy stuff that goes on there, the illegal stuff that goes on there. And that is about to go up to 100 over the next couple of months. The music industry, which previously had never turned their head at Kick, that has been endlessly bothering Twitch, that forced them to do a ton of deals, that changed everything about Twitch. There was so much DMCA drama. There was so much danger there, is going to turn the eye of Sauron immediately on Kick. And likewise, all of these entertainment industry people, they're looking and saying, wait, what do you mean Lord of the Rings? What do you mean the Avengers is being streamed on here? And they're going to turn and they're going to be like, what? We're going, blasting. And you have to understand that
That's
Twitch
true.
has a lot of rules in place to keep them in something called safe harbor with most DMCA. That means that Twitch is regularly banning content that goes on there and basically making a best effort to ban movies, to ban things that are going on that might be illegal. But Kick is not doing any of that. In fact, Kick is basically encouraging people to do that. And I don't mean that like officially. I mean like there hasn't been an official statement, but they are not policing it, right? Like the worst you might get for doing something crazy is like maybe like a 24-hour ban. But literally the largest broadcasters on the platform with over 30,000 viewers were streaming the Super Bowl and nobody stopped them. There wasn't even a single warning. This is the kind of stuff.
I want to know if he's going to end up paying money for that.
To button up, or oh man, are the police? The 5-0 is coming, and it is not going to be pretty because they basically you say, well, look, Kick is an Australian-based company backed by Saudi Arabian oil lords. So like, what's the danger? The danger isn't necessarily to Kick, although I would argue that these agencies could go after U.S. properties. So notably, the Kick is hosted by AWS, which is an Amazon product. They would very easily go to AWS and say, hey, this platform is streaming movies. Stop it. And then AWS goes, oh, okay. Like nobody opposes the feds. Okay. Nobody. That when when we're talking about they say, you always talk about they, like, oh, yeah, they might come for you. They're they. That's the they. And they are going to say, AWS, don't protect Kick. Knock it down. Sure, boss. No problem. And then Kick goes, oh, we'll just go to Cloudflare. Guess what? That's a U.S. company, too. We'll come after you. Until you host your servers in Zimbabwe, they're going to be coming after you. But it doesn't end there. What happens if they host their servers in...
Okay, Devin Nash is like the most knowledgeable person on the planet about this shit, dude. He's fucking crazy.
Zimbabwe, and they can still keep going. Totally fine. Then the agencies go after the individual streamers. And because they don't have the safe harbor in route, what happens is these agencies start going after XQC for doing illegal. I mean, he literally just said, like, we can watch more movies over there, right? And that's the crazy XQC if you were...
Yeah, dude. So I was watching... He wanted to do movie nights every night, is what I heard him say on Twitch. And I'm like, I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can do that.
Watching this video, man, if you listen to anything I've ever said, okay, do not go over to Kick and watch movies and full-blown stuff like just months into your new deal, dude.
I understand XQC is the biggest streamer, or was. He is, okay? Kai might beat him on average. I don't know. I think XQC is still the most sub to. I don't think he makes the best choices, okay? I don't think XQC makes the best choices. So while he's like a big number over there, is he going to be a big role model over on Kick? Is something that I'm unsure of. I don't know if he is someone that people model their decisions after. You know what I mean?
Dude, every single eye is going to be upon you. You are a crazy person if you don't think that the feds can touch you. I know you're Canadian, okay, but you're between the United States and Canada, which share many different agreements and many different laws. You are doomed if you do that. As is a message out. I am sending a message out to every large Kick broadcaster. The smaller ones usually get away with it, but I can't recommend that. I don't recommend that, especially as an agency professional. The larger ones, you are doomed if you start doing this stuff in the next 6 months. I guarantee you they are going to don't think just because Twitch got...
Are you able to hear, Tina? Is the audio okay?
Behind the scenes to protect broadcasters. So that is number one. Kick is going to have to change substantially if they plan to survive the amount of attention that's going to be on them, which is not going to be good. But they're also going to have to clean up clear brand risks. So there are streamers, notable streamers, in the 30,000 to 40,000 viewer range that are platforming absolutely crazy stuff on Kick that, again, I can't even talk to you about, because if I told you about it, I wouldn't even be able to have a career on YouTube. It's that bad. And there's no advertiser, there is no brand that is going to touch Kick with a 10-foot pole until those people are cleared up. And the problem is that a lot of the executive management at Kick thinks that they can just sort of coach these people into being better. But the problem with that is what I call the Arkham Asylum problem, okay? So like in DC Comics, this is one of my favorite things in the universe. I'm going to get a couple of nerds here talking about this. You've got Batman. And Batman captures villains, puts them in jail, and then, wouldn't you know it, they break right out and they start causing havoc again. And this happens again and again and again. And there's been many storylines that kind of explore, man, maybe we should just like stop these people entirely. Like maybe we should just end them, right? And
I think he can't say it. Dan Martillo, welcome in, baby. Appreciate the follow. Much love. Welcome to the dirtiest, most filthy family on Twitch.
There is a solid case for deplatforming some of the people on Kick when they have just repeatedly done this because they're just going to break out of Arkham and cause these problems again and again and again. But Kick's management doesn't.
How are you, my friend?
They believe they can kind of coach these people. And they can.
We're watching like the Devin Nash video about XQC moving to Kick. You know, seeing what that's all about.
Right. And the problem is like that works until it doesn't. And you have a truly bad actor that brings down your entire platform. And there are some bad actors in mind who I can think of right now on Kick.
Oh, my goodness. Yo, with the Prime skis? Thank you so much, Dan. What the hell? A follow and a Prime, same day. We love them. We love them. Appreciate you, Dan.
That are just going to cause those issues. And I think until those issues are cleared up, again, with the amount of attention that is on Kick as a result of this, it is going to be all but impossible for brands to put any money into it, and all but impossible for it to ever make any kind of money. Now,
where are you from, Dan?
There might be like 0.001% of brands, but I'll tell you from an agency perspective, just running a brand agency myself, we have literally talked to our most, like, we have some very risky brands.
Barcelona? Yo, that's crazy. I liked the soccer team there a lot. When I played soccer and I followed it a lot more. Back when Ronaldinho was on there and Henry, Edo, yeah, PK, Puyol, the Dream Team, Iniesta, Xavi.
It took one look at Kick and we're like, no way. There's absolutely
we're
no
over here
way
in the U.S.
that we are going to do that.
I want to go to Spain.
So that's the first.
I think Tino, didn't you just send me a picture of like your wallpaper and it was Spain and you said you wanted to go? I think that was Spain. A magic era, dude. It was the best. A little baby Messi, you know, little baby Messi.
Understand about like how this is going to happen and what is going to happen to Kick. Now you know the deal structure. So the next thing I want to talk about is what is going to happen to Twitch. There's a lot of questions about this and how this affects Twitch, and I'm going to break that down for you right after this call to action, which is, hi, I'm Devin Nash. Like I said, I run Novo. That's a brand agency that does influencer marketing. Messi. If you are a brand and you want to reach out to us and you want to do some work with us, we spend advertising dollars in efficient ways with influencers. But I go further than that. I also create YouTube videos about stuff like this. And I use my agency insider kind of information to kind of like inform these videos, or at least I do a lot of these similar deals. So if you like that kind of thing, go to patreon.com/DevinNash and support me. For $5, I've made over 90 unique videos teaching about business and marketing and everything I know. $5, patreon.com/DevinNash. That is not a meme. Average video is like 30 minutes. Super good. And if you don't want to do that, you can also support me by joining discord.gg/Devin.
I kind of want to pay the $5, dude. 90 videos. 90 videos, 30 minutes each? Dude, that's a whole fucking... That's like a month. It's like a month of going to seminar.
Marketing server where we discuss stuff like
this. Like a month course.
So please join me on Discord or Patreon, and thank you everybody for your support. This is what we call the secret call out at 19:05 minutes, meaning you're still here in a Devin Nash video, and I appreciate you. Leave a comment and let me know. We're going to move right into the Twitch section of how this will change Twitch and what will happen to Twitch. Well, the first thing this is going to do is it will force action from Twitch. One of my friends and people that is pretty intimately involved in Kick, named Trainwrecks, correctly identified this and said that this is going to be a big deal because it is going to make Kick a legitimate competitor and a legitimate worry for Twitch. Why? Well, because Felix himself...
XQC switched to Kick? That's what we're watching right now. That's the video that we're watching right now. So he didn't switch to Kick. It's a non-exclusive deal, so he can split his time between Twitch and Kick.
Out 2 to 3% of the total viewership on Twitch at any given day. Pretty crazy. Like, that's a lot of people. So Twitch is going to take a look at this, and this is not the first deal or the last deal that Kick has signed. And they're going to say, man, we are losing a lot of people. And plus, we've banned some other people, like notable people like Destiny, who are now doing very well on Kick by streaming there, as well as having a non-exclusive deal on YouTube. Twitch has really backed themselves into the corner with this simulcasting thing. Now, Twitch will tell you that they have removed contractual exclusivity.
What do you mean he had less than 50 views? Ain't no way. Hold on. We'll do it this way. Ain't no way. He's already got 138,000 followers. I don't even think he's been live yet. Oh, he's got 22,000 views. No. No. No.
But that is not true. They have simulcasting. So, yes, you can, in theory, in your contract, stream on Twitch, end your stream, and then go over to YouTube and stream, but you cannot do those two things at the same time. Because of that, some people have just decided to drop Twitch entirely and said, you know what, I'll go make more money over on Kick, or I'll go make more money multi-broadcasting, especially for smaller streamers. Some of you who watch my videos, you know that your discovery is going to be better, your monetization efforts are going to be better, a lot better on those platforms where you multi-stream instead of just putting all of the eggs in one basket on Twitch. Likewise, people like Destiny, who are a controversial broadcaster who was banned permanently on Twitch, is now doing better on these multiple platforms, both accepting non-exclusive deals from people like Kick and Rumble, as well as broadcasting there. So now this sort of Avenger...
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, with you can't just go get yourself banned permanently on Twitch. I feel like that's bad, because then if Kick does, for whatever reason, fall, you know, all he's got left is YouTube. I feel like that's a bad... I wouldn't want to just rely on, like, oh, man, I really hope Kick works out. But, like, if you're big like Destiny or XQC... So, say, like, XQC got banned permanently from Twitch, and he went to Kick. He would forever have a YouTube presence. And he'd make plenty of money. He can go live on YouTube, make plenty of money. You know?
Group
so I guess if you're like, you're big, it doesn't really matter. But
on Kick, and that means it has a network effect. A network effect is a marketing concept where multiple popular people or things
appreciate the prime, Dan. Have a great day. Appreciate the follow. Welcome in.
And cause more media and attention. It basically saturates out. So you have XQC, Destiny, Trainwrecks, Aiden Ross, all these people of this kind of certain same demographic in the live streaming world. That network effect means that collaborations are going to happen on Kick. More stories are going to happen on Kick. More news is going to happen on Kick. That means more videos are going to be made about stuff that happened on Kick, where maybe Deserto makes an article about XQC and something he did on Kick. Maybe on Reddit, there's a linked clip that is from Kick.com instead of every clip right now, which is linked from Twitch.tv. So that's a big difference.
I don't know. We saw this with Mixer, though. You know, with Shroud going to Mixer. I don't even remember all the people that went to fucking Mixer. But I know Shroud was a big one. And it just didn't work out. It didn't save the website.
It's that network effect is really coming into play here with this $70 million deal. And XQC is going to kind of be the leader of that. And like you got to bet yourself that today, every single agency on Earth is messaging Kick right now and saying, hey, how about this influencer? How about this influencer? What do you think about this kind of deal? What do you think about this non-exclusive deal? Because Kick has kind of ingeniously set themselves up for a play here where if they just offer everybody blanket hourly contracts, hey, non-exclusive, stream as much as you want, they get all this earned media. If the people stream on Kick, great. They get all the viewers. They get all that attention. If they don't, still great. All these announcements go through. All these earned media go through. So now I'm delivering on the promise of what you saw in this video, right? You now know what the real motivation here is. So Kick, you're going to be like, well, at what point are they going to make money? And I don't know that they never need to make money, okay? They're backed by Saudi Arabia, which really only cares about influencer plays. They got billions and billions of dollars. They're investing into esports. They're buying up most of esports as we speak. They're investing in esports teams.
Oh, the Oilers.
They're getting them at bottom dollar rates because that's what they're worth. And so they don't really care. Kick
the Oilers.
Also is backed by STACHE.com, which is a massive gambling platform. And if you have to understand, there's a concept of marketing called LTV, which is the lifetime value of a customer, okay, or LTC, or LTVC, however you want to kind of pronounce it. We just sort of make up acronyms as we go along in the agency world. And the lifetime value of a customer means how much money they're going to spend over the lifetime interacting with your product or service. Well, gambling lifetime value of customer is extremely high, which is why if you can use Kick as a sort of front website to just pull people into gambling, knowing that XQC gambles, knowing that basically all of the prominent people that they've kind of signed over to Kick are these big landmark deals have been prominent gamblers, they know that some percentage of those people, and they've got the math on the back end, are going to move over to stake, and they're going to gamble with these people, and their lifetime value of the customer is going to be within the thousands of dollars. So that's why a lot of people are going to say here that, well, why doesn't Twitch, because remember we're in the Twitch section here, do 70-30 subscriber splits across the board? You might say, you know, we're kind of expecting, like, well, surely Twitch is now going to announce 70-30 subscriber splits across the board in response to this, because Kick is currently offering 95-5, and YouTube already offers the 70-30 split. But if you actually listen to a lot of the people that are kind of the insiders within Twitch, notably you can look at the former head of partnerships, who's also a friend of mine named John Howell. I deeply respect this person. Writes on Twitter, I don't think people understand that 70-30 across the board is literally not sustainable. Streamers are anti-ads and refuse to run them at a volume that would allow Twitch to be fair, with the revenue-paying viewers directly spending to watch you. Probably have to be close to 5 to 6 ads per hour to make sense. The CPMs, which are the cost that they pay for ads, vary so dramatically by season and geo that prime ad regions like the US would need to make the difference up in other places. Unfortunately, the markets with lowest CPMs also are most expensive to serve videos to. So you've got the former head of partnerships saying outright, we can't sustain 70-30 as a platform. But Kick can certainly sustain 95-5 because the lifetime value of the customer moving over to stake is so high. And that now you sort of see how powerful the offering of Kick and stake are going to become in this battle. Twitch really only has ads to bring their platform up, and the kind of exclusive ability to sell those ads to those live streams, and that's why we recently saw that brand change where they said for a brief moment, you can watch one of my former videos on this, Twitch's ambition to control your content. They said, yo, like, we're going to control that now. You can obviously see that now they're trying to incentivize ads, they're trying to push ads so high, but meanwhile, like, Kick doesn't have any ads, and they just sit there, and they could even serve like 1/10 of the ads that Kick's, if they ever get any people to sponsor them. But they could serve like 1/10 of the ads that Twitch does, and they'd be fine. But meanwhile, Twitch is pissing off its viewers. So Twitch is in a hard place. Twitch has to compete with a platform that has an infinite backing from gambling and doesn't really care about being profitable on the same level that they do. They're fighting a different war. So it's just a different battle. So it's a pretty crazy situation. So Twitch can't do the 70-30 subscriber split. That's not going to happen. They're going to see a bunch of coverage about that. Like, well, now surely they're going to do it. Not going to do it. So we've already discussed that this represents a 2 to 3% loss in total viewership. It encourages Twitch to do further monetization options going forward. I was going to make a video about that. I still might, where Twitch has just recently announced that for their mid-sized creators, they are going to honor a 70-30 split of subscriber revenue up to the $100,000, and we can kind of talk about who that.
I know they just came out with like their Partner Plus thing. I was watching S-Fan watch it for like a split second, but I know they have like some new partner program.
Mostly mid-sized creators, doesn't really affect anybody else that much, and so Twitch might be expanding its monetization options and looking at how they can compete with Kick, but ultimately they are beholden to Amazon.com's dictatorial, I mean, like, absolutely draconian profitability metrics. Well, like, you have to make money as a company. You have to make it this way. You got to do it off of your ad networks, and there's no stake.com to come save you. So Twitch is going to have to be really creative on how they do this. And while I do think they're moving forward, this is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. So that is what I think will happen to Twitch. I think that another thing is that Twitch probably won't ultimately lose a ton of market share. I'll be following this, and I'll be reporting on this as the months go by. I don't anticipate that Kick is going to be like a 30 to 40% total competitor, whereas like right now it's about a 7 to 10% competitor with Felix of the total market share of people that watch streams. Streaming as a platform isn't like really growing anymore. The people that kind of know about live streaming and can donate the time to it are already doing it, and it's growing a little bit, but not like it did during COVID and not like it did before that. So you kind of have your market share of like what it is going to be. I don't think that Kick like realistically moves up to like 30 or 40% market share. That would represent a higher market share than Mixer, Face.
Oh my God, it's Saturday. I'm supposed to be at Andretti. I gotta go, chat. Holy shit. Yeah,